हाँ जी पंजाबी गेयर देखने वाले अज असी आए हाँ वेल्स दे विच वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट मोबाइल जिप लाइन देखन। अज असी आए हाँ माइन देखन। ये पुरानी माइन हैगी है जी, ये हैगी है जी स्लेट माइन। स्लेट होंदी छत्तां ते इस्तेमाल। ये उन्होंने माइन हैगी असी बुक कराई है। तैनूं उधरों माइन दे व्यू भी दिखावांगे। बाहर व्यू चेक करो जी। आ देखो जी आ पानी चल रहा। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਲੇਟ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੱਥਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਵੇਖੋ ਆ ਛੱਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਲੇਟ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ। हाँ जी असी आए जी डीप माइन टूर से पंजाबी गेयर देखने वाले हो। ये अस चले डीप अंडरग्राउंड। ठीक है
Zip world in one no slightly
इतों असी हेलमेट लवांगे। चलो जी असी हेलमेट पा लिया। हुण असी माइन टूर करन चले हैं। हाँ जी इन्हों का म्यूजियम छोटा जहा बनाया वा किदा माइनिंग होंदी थी। आ देखो पुराने जमाने से आ बह के स्लेट यूज करते थे, इदा स्लेटा करते थे छत लाने वास्ते। आ देखो गड्डियां
would have been used in a railway once.
आ ट्रेन के उत्ते थल्लों माइन च निकलते थे समान। हुण असीं बंदे की सेफ्टी ब्रेक वो बंदे चले गए। आ वेखो जी आ हैगा सारा बरूद डायनामाइट। ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ एक्सप्लोजन करते होंगे ਸੀਗੇ। वायर हैगी आ फ्यूज हैगे ने डेटोनेटर हैगे ने। ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਧਮਾਕੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੂਲ हैगे ने।
इधर ये माइन करते थे स्लेट के लिए, इससे घर के छत बनते हैं।
ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਛੱਤ ਬਣਦੀ ਹੈ। ठीक है आ इदा छत बनती है देखो लगी हुई है। ठीक है आ देखो बंदे इतने काम कर रहे पुराने जमाने में। पता नहीं नजर आ रहे कि नहीं।
और वो माइन पुराने जमाने का तस्वीर
ये पुराने जमाने की तस्वीर का बंदे काम कर रहे हैं। देखो आ देखो जी असी माइन से आ गए हैं। हुण असी थल्ले चले हैं। आ देखो पानी चो रहा है। ये टनल से का माइन नहीं थी। हम अगे माइन में जावांगे।
Whoever's the last one there or whatever, just make sure that this gate here, just push it, okay? Don't leave it open. I went down there one day with 20 people. By the time we were down the bottom, there was about 40. People saw the gate open and they just kept on coming down and down and down. Thank you. Let's go. Use the handrail.
Use the handrail. Slippery. ये जी ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ।
Oh my papa.
आप पटरियां देख रहे हो, ऐसे ट्रेन चलती थी पुराने ज़माने से।
जो लग रहा है जैसे लेक डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाला था। ऐसे भी सीढ़ी था।
बड़ी डूंगी माइन है जी, ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆ ਵੇਖੋ, ਆ लेफ्ट से टनल हैगा एक,
और उधर भी और ट्रेन ट्रैक है। उसमें स्लेट डालते थे।
बड़ा काम डेंजरस हैगा इत्थे। बाबा जी पहले पहुंच गए।
There you go. You made it.
And this is
But we don't need to wash our hands.
You're very lucky.
हाँ देखो जी,
Anywhere along here.
Watch it.
You're on your own. You haven't got this. You've got your candle. And you think, right. And you think, which way do I go now then? Oh yeah, I came that way. Did I? And you start getting confused because everywhere looks the same. So easy to get lost in here. The tunnels look the same. Now if you step down there, in the dark, you don't see it maybe, and you happen to fall down there, that goes straight down 1,000 feet. Straight down to the bottom of the mine. That's what they call a ventilation shaft. That's the way we breathe in here. That's our airway. It comes from the bottom of the mine. What they do in the beginning is the mountain outside. Yeah, they drill straight in the bottom of the mountain, straight into the middle of the mountain, and then they go straight up, and then it branches out like a Christmas tree. And these are the branches, and they carry air up. Sometimes, depends which way the wind is blowing outside, you can feel a draft coming up here, the way the wind blows up. So that is a ventilation shaft. That's why you should never wander around in an old mine. You never know what you're going to step in next. Dangerous places. So I'll take you through here now. There's a big chamber through here, okay? Let's go through this way. Da, 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 dee, da, 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 You can't go just drilling. My friend, I will sing you
देखो ये ट्रैक
here. It's always dynamite. These pieces here, these are no good to me. These are too small. Give them to the young boys to play with. They might make some pocket money with them. What I'm looking for here, off the side of this mountain here, is a big block up to 2 tons in weight, about the size of a BMW Mini. That's what I'm looking for, daily, not this stuff. So that's why I don't use dynamite, because it's too powerful to just smash everything. They keep the gunpowder in one of those. It's called a bugle, because of the shape. That's the cheaper version, made of metal. The deluxe models are made of copper. The reason is, don't forget, this is full of gunpowder. It doesn't spark. That will. So you've got to always think sparks, because you have candles in here. You get a spark in one of these, and it can blow your hand off. I've seen it happen. And these are very expensive to buy. You don't leave them lying around. It's like leaving an iPad on the bonnet of your car all day in the car park. Somebody will have it. Well, these are the same. Lots of the men have had them on this side on a strap. So you don't lose them, don't leave them hanging around and stuff. There's 500 men here. Powder, gunpowder, is pretty harmless, unless you compress it. Gunpowder is made up of 1/3 sulphur, 1/3 saltpeter, and 1/3 charcoal. So you can put gunpowder here. And you can light it like that. It'll just flash and smoke. It won't explode until you put it in there. And you compress it. Powder. And then paper in there. And then you compress it. But I won't do that because I'm blocking the holes up. My colleagues are playing hell. So that would be in there. And then the whole lot would be compressed. Brass. It's called a stamper. Not a metal one. It'll spark. Brass and wood or copper. Always think sparks. Last thing you want. This man here used one of these. He was lucky to be alive, and he used the wrong tool to compress the powder down. It created a spark. And it blew up. Straight through. And he was standing here when it happened. It's a good thing he had a small head. He cut him, he had lacerated his forehead, but it didn't kill him. Now that could have been a little bit further on, it would have gone straight through his head. He was lucky to be alive. Because he used the wrong tool to compress the powder down. You never do it. Use the right tools. Now, 11:30 every morning, exactly. The hooter, the bell goes. That is your signal. It's break time. Your only break of the day, 12-hour shift, 30 minutes. And they mean it, 30 minutes. They will time you, they will watch you. So you need to make your way to a cabin, a little canteen there. There are lots of them down here. Now I know if I go down there for 10 minutes, there's a big cabin there, 40 men in there. It takes me 10 minutes to get down there, 10 minutes back. That's 20 minutes I've wasted on my own time. No good. I know if I go around this corner to the next chamber along, there's a little cabin there in the corner. 6 men in there. I can be there in 30 seconds. That's the one I use. Why waste your own time? So let's go and see this cabin on the other side there. Let's go and see this cabin.
Ja, hat sich presset zum Sprengen.
Du bist Messing, wie Mikrofon. Die Stahl, die Funke.
Are you finding it interesting? Yeah. That's the main thing. That's a cabin, see? Built in the corner. In your own time. Not in the company's time. You don't waste the company. They would let you use these waste pieces of rock to build, but you build it in your own time, not in the company's time. Lots of the men come up in the evening just to socialise and build cabins. That's just a small one, there's 6 or 7 men in there. In each of the cabins you see today, there would be there would
scary. छत बड़ी नीवी हैगी जी.
Beyond even the rock face up there, a little hologram of a man. Of a man. With this pillar, because those jacket pieces there, these are going to come loose from there, and these big overhangs. If you're working down there with your family, these are going to seriously hurt. Those are razor sharp. They will seriously injure or kill somebody. So they need to be removed from there before they do. There would have been a man coming in here on to work on those ladders there, called the danger man. That's what he does. Life expectancy of a danger man is around about 40 years old. They all eventually fell off those ladders because they work there without harnesses. They make your way to the top, wrap your leg around the top rung, hang on up there for dear life, crowbar in one hand, a lantern in the other. And that's where he'd be. You see drill marks here where they've been drilling all those years ago. Now if you had to go all the way up to top there, same again, take another ladder, tie it onto this, and off he goes. Same again, no harness. Now this is an 80-foot drop. Okay? Now these people here are cheating because these are aluminium ladders. The men I remember in here, they had wooden ladders. 3 times the weight of these, wet and very, very slippery. Many a time I would come in there in the morning to find the danger man slumped dead at the foot of the ladder, slipped and fallen. Many a time. That's because of that, they were running out of danger men very often. Special breed, not everybody could do it. You need a hell of a good head for heights and good balance as well. That's why they would employ, when they could, ex-circus performers, retired clowns and trapeze artists. You put a clown up there, ideal, up there, good head for heights. And the retired trapeze artist, they made a good team up there, good balance. And mines would pay, whoever paid the given the best deal, they would work for them. Danger men. Anybody want a job as a danger man? Don't use the list danger man. And the way they used to jump there. They stopped using these in 1898. They became obsolete. And compressed air was introduced here for the first time. And then they started using these babies. 11 kilos there of solid steel wrapped around your neck for 12-hour shifts. You must have it. Some of the men would use the rubber hoses coming there, thick rubber hoses, and they would wrap them around their neck and around their arms and keep them up. Those are heavy, 11 kilos. But they cut the drilling times to half. You think it's a good thing? Not so good. Whatever this does in 2 hours to reach there, that can do it in an hour. Good, you say? Not so good. The biggest killer in here is not injuries, it's dust. Dust, silicosis from the slate, silica. Slate is very rich in silica. And the problem is, it's not the dust you can see that does the damage, it's the one you can't see. That's the one that kills you. That's the problem. And you're not talking men, 60, 70, 80 years old. You're talking young men, 30, 31, couldn't breathe. The lungs are full of dust. Inside your lungs today, all of you here today, you must have them, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You've got inside your lungs millions of little air sacs where the interchange of gases takes place in your lungs, called alveoli. Alveolus and alveoli, millions of them. And those little air sacs in your lungs are designed, because they're in your lungs, they're designed to hold the air. But these wouldn't be full of air. These should be full of dust, microscopic dust, silica, crystalline dust. And that dust will mix in there, inside there, with the magical fluid you've got in your lungs anyway. And it will turn into rock inside your lungs. It's a horrible way to die. You can't breathe. Your lungs are turning into rock. They reckon when your time is up here, round about, usually you're 40, 45 if you're lucky, 50 is unheard of. They reckon when that time comes, your lungs will weigh 3 times heavier than they should. Terrible thing. Slate is 55% silica, 25% alumina, 11% iron oxide, hence the rust. And there are traces of magnesium and lime. Important stuff to be sucking in your lungs day in, day out. Silly. And a lot of people think, yeah, but all of this is Victorian thing. It's not, you know, it's killing thousands of people throughout the world today. Silicon. There's something very similar in the coal mines called pneumoconiosis, black lung. But this is worse. This is like cement. This hardens inside your lungs. And if you see slate dust under a microscope, they're crystalline dust, glass. So when you work here, you're sucking glass in your lungs, and it's one of the symptoms and the signs when you've got silicosis. Most of the young men, you'd usually see them. They wouldn't be using the abdominal muscles and the diaphragm to breathe. They'd be using the shoulder muscles to breathe. Most of them. And they're sucking in air into what they think is better. So they're using the shoulder muscles to breathe, trying to suck more air in their lungs. So they're using not the diaphragm, they're using what they call the sternocleidomastoid muscles in the shoulders, shoulder muscles, to try and suck more air in. It doesn't work, but they think it does. And one of the symptoms is, these lights are on timers. One of the symptoms is bringing up frothy white sputum. And in the sputum, you find specks of blood, white red blood. And you think to yourself, when you see that, you think, it must be a chest infection. But it's not a chest infection, it's silicosis. Those crystals are just attacking the lining inside of the lungs, making them bleed. So it's your own slippery slope. There's nothing you can do. Just make the person comfortable and get him out the mine. Some people get away with it. Some people don't. There's a mine in West Virginia today, somewhere, and they call it the Widowmaker. So many men died of silicosis. Terrible thing. One of the worst places, it's not a Victorian thing by any means. This planet we live on, Earth, is made up of two major elements, silicon and oxygen. And silicon makes up to 70% of the globe. So there's a hell of a lot of silica. It's in slate, granite, marble, sandstone, flint, quartz, dirt. It's in all of these rocks. It's around you every day. You don't have to work in a mine. And one of the worst places today, silicosis-wise, is a building site. You see these big burly builders, they have to wear a helmet on site, and they wear a fluorescent high-vis jacket and a belt with tools hanging from it. Never a mask. They don't like wearing a mask. And they think it's okay because there's no dust here, but there is dust. It's the one you can't see that does the damage. And they're there, the silica, the sand is on the site, they're throwing the sand in the mixture and stuff, it's full, it's rich in silica sand. Your colleague comes there, there's your cement, mate.
ਆ ਵੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜ਼ਮਾਨੇ 'ਚ ਆਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਔਜ਼ਾਰ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਆ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਥੱਲੇ ਮਾਈਨ ਦੇ 500 ਫੁੱਟ ਥੱਲੇ ਆ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ ਇੱਥੇ ਡਸਟ ਹੈ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਇੱਥੇ ਡਸਟ ਬੜੀ ਡੇਂਜਰਸ ਹੈ ਆ ਵੇਖੋ ਜੀ $500 ਫੁੱਟ ਥੱਲੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਉੱਤੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਨਾਈਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਉਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਆ ਵੇਵਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਲੇਟ ਮਾਈਨਿੰਗ बड़ी ज़बरदस्त जगह वा ठंड बहुत हो गई थले इससे पसीने आ रहे थे तो इससे ठंड आ रही थी
This is the deepest we can go today, 500 feet.
ਇਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਡੂੰਘੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ
We can't go any deeper. Water comes just under us here today.
ਵਾਟਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਆ
We're
ਗਿਆ
only
ਗਰਾਊਂਡ
one
ਉੱਪਰ
third way down the mine now. There's another 2/3 here. You'll
ਆ 33 ਡਿਗਰੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਟਪਕ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਤੋਂ ਬੋਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਮਾਇਨਾ 'ਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿਰ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਟਨਲ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਅੱਗੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਾਲ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ
holding the place up. Just above your head here today is the car park. That's the cabin. With the timekeeper watching you.
ਉਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ
Let's go see this water down here. This water.
ਇੰਨਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਾਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਆ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਦਾਂ ਸਲੇਟ ਰੌਕ ਦੇ ਪੀਸ ਪਏ ਨੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸਾਫ ਸੁਥਰਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਤੱਕ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਇਹ ਉੱਤੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਐਕਵਾਫੋਰ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੋਰ ਤੋਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਹੋਣੀ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਪੰਪ ਚਲਾ ਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਨੇ। ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ, ਗਵਾਚ ਨਾ ਜਾਵਾਂ। ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਡੂੰਘਾ ਹਿੱਸੇ 'ਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਟੂਰ ਮੁੱਕ ਲਿਆ, ਦੇਖੋ ਪਾਣੀ ਥੱਲੇ। अगली चाय आ गई कोई। हाँ देखो जी पुराने जमाने का खाना होना था। इधर लोग के पुराने जमाने के खाने थे। रेस्टिंग एरिया जैसे चाय बनाने की।
Paraffin lamp.
This is another type of cabin without a roof.
ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ। ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਆ ਦੇਖੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਨਾਈਟ ਹੈਗਾ, ਗ੍ਰੈਨਾਈਟ।
Mines are dangerously stored in it? Or are mines found stored?
ਥੱਲੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਟਿਊਬਲ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਕੱਢੀ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਪਾਣੀ ਹੈ, ਮੀਂਹ ਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਨੀਵਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ। ਆਹ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਟਨਲ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ। हाँ देखो जी पानी निकल रहा है सारा। मेरे ख्याल से टूर मुक गया। हूँ असी ट्रेन फड़ के उत्थे जाना। आज भाजी कितना नीवा हो गया, सिर लग गया उत्ते मेरा। ऐसे 500-600 फुट जमीन के थले है। अगला कैबन आ गया। आ देखो जी 3 बंदे ने दसिया जी इतने 40 किलोमीटर के टनल है ने। जे कोई बंदा पिछे रह गया तो उन्हें लभन के चांसेस कोई नहीं है। उन्हें बिच घूम के गुम हो जाना। इस वे तो लाइट भी चल रही है। जो पुराने जमाने के लोग काम करते थे तो दसदा वा कि मोमबत्तियां होंदियां सीगियां ते मोमबत्तियां भी उन्नी देर की चलाई दी थी जिस तक जगह ते पहुँच जाते। फिर मोमबत्तियां बंद ते नेरे च काम करते थे। क्योंकि जे तुसीं मोमबत्तियां बहुतियां इस्तेमाल कीतियां तो महीने के आखिर च कंपनी तुहानूं पैसे देने दे, तुसीं कंपनी नूं पैसे देने पैंदे थे। आ देखो जी ट्रेन आ गई किसी किस्म की। बच्चे बह के आप चलने हैं।
She got 6 in each, anyway.
Can I sit in the front?
Yeah. I need to sit there, madam. I need to sit there. Yeah.
Sorry.
You see? Lots of people put their phones there and they video it on the way up. Just taking the strain. The rope is a bit rusty. There's lots of rots in the rope.
I think
At least we'll end up
You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Good.
we'll end up in the pool, not.
That's why there's no door in here, because I will be the first one out, you see. Women and children first, after me. You enjoy that?
Yes, a lot of fun.
Good. Good. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake ready for you. I didn't know you were coming, did I? Anybody in the golf? No? Yes. Have you had nice pictures?
Yes, yes.
Good. They've asked me to stay for a few days here, there and everywhere, just to keep an eye on these new guides, you see, because you don't know what they're going to be telling people, do you? Because they've never worked in the mine. So where are you going next, sir? Switzerland?
Next station, it's tomorrow, Newtown.
Oh, yeah. Mid Wales.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, Newtown is nice. Yeah. Where are you staying?
In a hotel.
Where?
I don't know the name at the moment.
This area?
Yeah.
Ah. Good.
We are here from Edinburgh.
Hey,
Edinburgh, Scotland.
are you? Long way off.
Yes.
This is long. Take care.
ਇਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਟੂਰ ਮੁੱਕ ਗਿਆ ਵਾ
Take care, boys.
Thank you, sir. Legend, star, and happy retirement when you do.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
ਸਾਡਾ mind ਦਾ tour
Starting raining again.
ਤੇ ਕੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਨਵੀਂ